Have you ever looked at something and just saw total chaos? But then someone else looks at the exact same thing and sees this intricate, beautiful pattern? Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to explore a mind that works on a completely different wavelength, where what sounds like just noise might actually be a symphony, just waiting for someone to listen.
Okay, so let's set the scene. From the outside looking in, it seems pretty straightforward, right? You've got these parents, and they're worried about their son. To them, what he's doing, this intense focus on a notebook, it's just scribbling. He's just the odd kid, lost in some world they can't get into, doing something that honestly looks completely meaningless.
But is it? Or is it something more? What if what they're seeing isn't the whole picture? Not even close. What if those scribbles, those random-looking marks, are actually something else entirely? And that right there is the big question we're tackling.
All right, so to really get this, we have to totally flip the script. We've got to stop looking from the outside in. Instead, we're going inside, right into the chaos of his mind, to see the world the way he does.
And wow, what a reality it is. For this kid, the world is anything but simple or quiet. It's this relentless storm of information. Every single sound, every little social interaction, even just a passing thought, it's all data that just floods his system. It's a constant, never-ending state of sensory overload.
And check out how he actually perceives all this data. To him, sound isn't just sound. It's way more like a complex math problem. He's hearing the world broken down into its raw parts. Frequencies, decibels, durations, the whole thing is like one giant auditory algorithm that his brain is just desperately trying to solve.
And it's not just sounds, Social stuff is a whole other impossible puzzle. Think about a simple question like, "How are you?" For most of us, it's nothing. But for him, the social rules behind it feel completely illogical. He feels this pressure to come up with some kind of data-driven answer. It makes just connecting with people incredibly hard. Okay, so picture an everyday sound. A car horn, maybe. For us, it's annoying, sure, but we move on. For his super-sensitive system, though, that beep, beep is a physical assault. It's irregular, it's chaotic, it's like a major glitch in the system, just this blast of raw, painful noise. And sooner or later, all that data, all that chaos, it just builds and builds until, snap, it hits a breaking point. Now, obviously, this image isn't literal, but man, is it a powerful way to show the intense pain of a total sensory overload. The whole system just crashes. And his parents? They're just standing there shocked, thinking, we didn't mean to, because they just can't see what even caused it. But then, something shifts. This is the big turning point in the story. Because instead of just drowning in all that chaos, he starts to think, maybe there's another way to see all this.
He basically starts to reframe the entire problem. He thinks, okay, on one hand, you've got chaos. Random, meaningless, totally overwhelming, and unsolvable. But what if it's not chaos? What if it's a signal? Something with a pattern, something meaningful? What if it isn't an unsolvable mess at all, but just information that he needs to figure out?
And that leads him to his new working theory, his hypothesis. It's not random. It's a signal. He decides he's going to test this idea. And let me tell you, this one thought is a total game changer. It takes him from being a victim of his world to being an investigator. And just look at him now. The change is incredible. He's not covering his ears in agony anymore. He's leaning in. He's actively engaged, analyzing all those frequencies, hunting for the pattern inside the noise. All that scribbling? It suddenly has a purpose. The kid is on a mission. Okay, so this new way of thinking, this super focused analysis, it's all leading up to one final amazing breakthrough. He is literally on the verge of cracking the code that has been running his entire life. And then he gets it. The big discovery. He realizes that all his scribbles, all his frantic attempts to process that auditory algorithm, they weren't just random lines. It was a cipher. It was a code the whole time. So what's a cipher? It's basically a secret language, right? A secret way of writing something down in code. And that's what he was doing. He wasn't just doodling randomly. He was, without even realizing it, transcribing the entire world around him into a language that only he could read. And as soon as he realizes he's looking at a cipher, everything changes. He can finally decode it. And just like that, the chaos turns into order. The noise becomes music. And those scribbles, they transform into something absolutely extraordinary, a glowing, hidden map.
And the information he decodes is just unbelievably specific. This isn't some abstract idea. He's found an actual structural void under the town square. I mean, his unique, chaotic way of seeing the world actually led him to a real, tangible, hidden secret.
So, a hidden world revealed. What does this all add up to? Well, this boy's journey, from being totally overwhelmed by chaos to literally decoding a secret, it tells us something really powerful about how we see the world.
Really, it all boils down to one simple thing. What his parents saw as just scribbling was actually a secret language. One person's meaningless chaos is another person's complex data. What looked like just a symptom of being an odd kid was actually the very key he needed to unlock a hidden world. That scribbling, that was his language, that was his method, that was his genius.
And that kind of leaves us with a big question to think about, doesn't it? I mean, how often do we write something off, or even write someone off, just because the way they see the world, the way they communicate, doesn't fit into our neat little boxes? What incredible patterns, what amazing hidden languages, what actual forms of genius are we all missing out on, just because to us it looks and sounds like nothing but noise?